moment. Today we're making history. This flight 757 is a maiden flight out of JFK Airport, flying into Argyle International Airport.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for one.
Good morning to you once more, and I'm here at the site of the Argyle International Airport. Today, Saturday, the 7th of November 2015, and with you I'm up here on the flat area of the McConney Yami Hill. Somehow I had found myself a way to get to this flat area, but on top of the hill here the men are already at work. It is just about 25 minutes to 7 o'clock in the morning, and here we have three caterpillars actually on the hill here doing excavation work, pushing the dirt over to the bankside on the flat where the trucks are being loaded with these dirt and are taken to various sections where they are needed on this site. The sun is shining brightly. We have some dark clouds overhead, and I'm not too sure if it is going to rain. I am here with you this early because I have to be at another function later on, and by now many of you, by the time you're looking at this video, you will know exactly what is the date for our general elections here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But I am only going to give you my guess, and I believe that the date will be announced this afternoon at the grammar school ground, and that date will be the 9th of December 2015. Nomination day will probably be somewhere between the 18th and the 20th of November. So this is just my prediction. So I don't have to be correct, but I'm only stating this to see exactly when the date is announced if I am correct. So because of that activity, I am here this early, just making a quick run through. But you know, when I come, I have to really try and get as much as I can so that you can get a glimpse as to what has taken place here over the past week since my last visit. We are here on the flat, and I'm at the southern end of the runway, looking back towards the McConney Yami Hill. And as you can see, the depth to which they have gotten to, starting from that high hill up there. Earlier up in this year, they start doing the bulk of the excavation work here, taking down this bankside. And from the looks of things, things are going quite pretty okay for the time being. And the soil they're meeting there is not too much of a hard soil. Whenever they meet hard rocks that the caterpillars can't deal with, then we'll have the drills coming in. And the sad thing is that the drills are not functioning right now because they are not new drills, they are old drills, and would have done a considerable amount of work. So you know, with this volume of work here at the Argyle International Airport that they have to do, cause them to break down frequently. But we are still getting the work done in areas where we can work. We will not let those drills hinder us from getting the bulk of the work done, and those that the drills are needed to do, when the drills are up and running, they will start doing those work after the drill is functioning properly. So you're looking here now, you're seeing the color stubs, caravan area, all those areas in the background over there. You have the caravan school, secondary school, and as we come right along on the hillside, you have that mountain there. The name is eluding me at the moment of the hill, the rainforest hill there. King's Hill actually it is. That's it. I got it now. You're looking at it there in the background. And I am heading towards the bank side so that I can show you what sort of work took place there over the past. This morning actually on my way down, coming down from the Methodist Church area at Moncook, I saw a cruise ship heading towards Port Kingston. So I know for sure that there's a cruise ship in the harbour today. So the cruise ship season has started, and I think it runs from November to March, April, thereabout. Not too sure what time, whether it's March or April, but I know it starts in November. And the cold season starts in the north. But I'm here looking over at the Stubbs Bay side, not being able to see well where they're doing the work, but I'm just giving you a glimpse of this section. And down there you can see a part of the work being done there so far. You can see how much work that has been done since our last visit. That hill has gone higher, or that embankment that they're building has gone higher. So when I get over to the other side where I can look down better, I will show you exactly what has taken place. So here we are, looking back down now on the hill where you can see more of the work that has been done here on the hillside. We have trucks dumping load of dirt. One truck has just finished dumping and another one is on its way coming down. And you can see where they're dumping this dirt, building up this area now as they link it to the one there that has been done. Where you see the man standing next to that red truck there, that area is being built. So you're seeing exactly how the work is being done here. Gone all the way out to the edge out there, and they're building in a terracing state coming up towards the bank side. Now on the bank here, just in front of us, we see that they have sloped it down a bit, and I don't know why. I am assuming that for some reason it looks as though the road that is going to pass on the southern end will pass somewhere in that area and come up all the way, as I show you in the camera, where you have that road, that shine spot there, and come up to the bank side here. That is just my belief based on what I'm seeing, because I'm trying to figure out why they just single out that spot and do it. And you can see the tire marks of vehicle coming up, and then if there is where it is going to come, then this is just to give you an idea. But I am not quite sure. I am only saying this based on what I am seeing, but I know that there is going to be a road passing somewhere in this area. And what I have learned, there was supposed to be a meeting with the IADC and the people who are responsible for the fuel at the airport. There was supposed to be a meeting sometime yesterday, but because the people who are involved in this meeting couldn't make it, it had to be postponed to another day. And from what I've gathered, this meeting has to do with the docking of the fuel ship here at the Stubbs Bay. And I am trying to figure out in my mind how they're going to run this line, that the fuel is going to be run to the tank, how they're going to pass this fuel line. If the fuel truck is going to, the fuel ship is going to dock in here, and deliver the fuel where the fuel line is going to pass so that it can flow to the tank out at the Argyle airport site close to the main road. But whenever that meeting is scheduled and I have the time, I will try my best to make it there so that I can gather the information and be able to share it with you. But I just want to inform you, this is on its way, this is about to take place, and not too long from now we will have that discussion, and people from the Stubbs, Caller, Carpon and other areas surrounding the airport will be able to better understand what they're going to do in regards to this. The fuel ship docking here at the Stubbs Bay. I am here at the back of the Fort Hill, overlooking the sea on the Stubbs side, and also overlooking that area where they're doing the backfilling down there. So here you're having a different perspective of what the work is like here from this on the eastern side, looking back there so that you can see. And you would see the amount of work that has been done here during the period since they are backfilling this area. The sea is calm, relatively calm, moving in towards the shore side, and you're seeing trucks after truckloads of dirt being dumped here, moved from the McConney Hill area. And actually the dirt that is coming down from the McConney Hill area are a mixture of different kinds of dirt. You have lots of stone in some area and you have dirt in some areas. So based on what they need down here, some are being dumped down here and some are being taken to other areas on the site where that particular type of soil is needed. So this is just giving you a view here of what is going on here. The work is actually taking place today, the 7th day of November 2015, as you would see in the video. And this is a segment of the work. Other works are going on in other areas because the work done here on the airport site is being done simultaneously. So when you come to visit, if you just visit one area, you might not see anything happening, but that does not mean work is not taking place in other areas. But if you travel the entire compound, the entire site, you will get to see the volume of work that is going on here at the airport site, just like I do every week when I come to this site. I tour all over just to get a glimpse as to what has taken place and to be well abreast of the progress of the work here at the Argyle International Airport site. We are here on the western side of the runway. I am standing on the turning head. That is the concrete area of the runway strip called the turning head. Now, last few weeks when I visit, I show you the eastern side and the shoulder area where they have done the asphalt paving to link the shoulder to the actual runway itself. And I told you that the western side is not being done, but it will be done just like how we had the eastern side. Now today, Saturday, the 7th of November 2015, I am here with you at the western side of the shoulder area of the runway, showing you a section of the asphalt paving that they would have done here on the shoulder area. Now, this area here that you're seeing, this has been oiled, but the asphalt layer has not been laid on it as yet. So you can see the difference in the two sections. Now, this has started from where the concrete section ends here and the runway begins. And if you can recall, earlier up before the asphalt work was done, when they got to this point here, there was a step down with the concrete, so the asphalt is actually here joined towards the turning head. There's a section of concrete below this where you have the asphalt starting here. Now this side behind me, as I turn and show you, this side going all the way back down alongside the turning head, right back down to the end, will also have to be asphalted as part of the shoulder width. But they're doing this section first. I have seen workmen on this area of the site, the runway area. What they're doing, I can't say from this distance where I'm at, but I'm just showing you the work that has been done here over the past week. This was not done here last week, Saturday, when I came here. So it has to be between Sunday and yesterday this work was done, because we can see it today, and they are not working here today on this section of the work. So over the past week, this aspect of the work has been done. Now it has gone up to a certain point, and when I get to that point up there, I will show you exactly where they have gotten to with the asphalt paving here on the shoulder area on the western side of the runway strip. And all this area you're looking at over here has already been done. This is the final coat. There is a coat below, right? And this is the final coating here they're putting on now, so that this is the section that the planes are going to land on whenever operation starts here at the airport site. Now looking back at top of the Makani Hill, we have 4 pieces of equipment up there working. This morning when I started my visit, there were only 3, the caterpillar, the bulldozers as we call them. But since I went over on the eastern side and looked back, I saw a 4th piece that has joined them. This one this one is doing a different kind of work. This one is the one that slopes the hill, give the hill that sloping form, that looks like a geese, that kind of equipment, if you understand what I'm talking about, with a small scoop. This has joined them there on the hill, and this is continuing the work. On the flat here, we have trucks are being loaded with the dirt that has been pushed over from the bank side up there by these bulldozers, and we have them pushing over in different areas. All 3 of them are pushing over, as you can see there. And this hill, as they continue the excavation of the hillside, we see the hill gets lower and lower as they get to that point where they want to get to. I don't know if this whole bank side that they're working on will be coming down, but as time goes by, we will see how the work shapes up here, and you'll be able to get an understanding as to what is taking place. Here we have gotten to the point where they have reached with the shoulder section that they would have done recently. And this part that you're looking at here right now, this is a part of the runway itself, and this is to this point where they have gotten to doing this section. Now currently we have the surveyors here working, putting in the markers for where they're going to draw the lines to start doing this asphalt paving. And up there you can see 2 of the workers there, and over there we have the man that is actually doing the reading and giving the instruction as they do the surveyor's work here on this section of the work here at the airport site. Last week, from somewhere over here in the middle of the runway, I took a photograph of some works going on there on that side. If you recall, you see a truck was dumping some dirt, and one of my viewers, one of my friends, was questioning why I'm taking photographs of houses. But I wondered to myself if that is all she saw. But that is not what I saw, actually. The work that they were doing here in this area, where they now have fencing poles up, ready to do the fencing. So sometimes you take your photographs, but other people looking at it don't understand what it is all about, and they can only look for what they want to see. But sometimes in that same photograph there are many stories that can be told. And here we are today. I am here at the edge of the shoulder area of the runway. I'm looking back towards that area over there on the bank side where they're doing some fencing. So I'm going to go closer so that you can have a better look to see what has taken place. So here we are closer to the work that is going on here in the fencing area, and you have seen up to what point they have come. They have already dug the holes, drilled the holes, put in the boxing around the poles. The poles are in place, they are plumb. As you can see, the stays that these 2x2 wood, they are keeping them in place in a straight and level line. We have going on up there, they are drilling more holes as they move forward. So later on, I saw a concrete truck just behind me coming down on the eastern side, and I was wondering where this truck is going. But now I come here and talking to you, it dawned on me probably the truck will be coming here, because we already have boxing in place waiting for the concrete. And as I turned my head and looked back, I saw the truck coming up in this area where I'm at. So I believe, and I think I'm correct, that they're going to pour some concrete here. But I'm going to wait a while until the truck comes up so that you can see exactly if I am correct. And here we have the truck, the concrete truck, making its way up here on this side of the fencing. So we are going to stay a while here and we are going to see exactly what is taking. But these preparation has been done, and the guys are now drilling new holes up there to plant new poles to continue the work on the fencing here on the western side of the airport side. So there you have the truck in place, and I am correct, the truck has stopped, and we are going to start to see some pouring of concrete right here in these boxing. So remember last week I told you when I passed here, I show you where they have put in the stakes, and I told you that they are going to be fencing work here by the time we return next week. Now I am here the following week, and you are getting a first-hand view of the work that is going to take place here right now in this area where they are doing the fencing. So here we are witnessing the actual work being done here on this section of the fencing. You're seeing for yourself. By the time I pass back this afternoon, when I'm ready to leave the site, all of this boxing here that we're seeing, where they're pouring the concrete, will be completed. And next week when I visit, you will see the fencing in this area up, and I won't be able to pass through the space as we have here because the fencing will be blocking, you know. So the drill that was drilling the holes up there, the piece of equipment that was drilling the hole, the bobcat with the piece of drill they attached to it that was drilling the hole up there, has left, which means that it probably has completed the work. So the concrete works is going on right now, and all of this area will be filled with concrete as we move towards the north. I didn't get a chance to come and see what the drill was doing, but I know what it was doing. But actually I wanted to show you what it was doing. Now they have gotten to this point here with the boxing of the fencing. And this is the last pole they would have planted. But the work will continue up towards to link up with that other one up there. And we have about 10 holes here, according to one of the workers who was here. Told me a while ago he has 10 poles to plant, and they're going to do this anytime after they take down the boxing from these areas. That most likely will be tomorrow, because the truck is there right now doing the pouring of the concrete, and then after that concrete is hardened, they're going to remove the boxing and then lay more boxing here over this area where they put the holes, and they're going to fit up the poles and pour the concrete into them. Now, up at that area close to the fencing, there's going to be a space momentarily. And the reason for this, they're not going to link the fencing right up to the one that has been done for the time being. Because on my left, looking up on the hill, right up there, is where we have the lab. So they cannot carry the fencing right up, because the vehicles and other people going up to the lab will need a space to pass to get up there. So what they will be doing, they will be reaching up to a certain point, and the stake has been in place. But the way this place has been surveyed, we know where the other holes are going to be. About 2 to 3 more holes left to go up there. And right where the stake is, they have gotten to the last hole here, right as we can see. And this space is now left vacant, so that the vehicles going up to the lab where they do all the testing of the concrete and other aspect of the work here on the site, that space will be left open so that the vehicles can have free passage up and down. And we must also remember too that pedestrians who want to get to the Warako Beach area, that the people who don't have the vehicle and they're walking, they enter somewhere from the main road up there and coming down in this area where those trucks, that red truck is parked there, and walk through the airport site over to where they have that house, or sometimes they go down to just little above the stone crushing plant and make their way to the Warako Beach. So this area will not be closed off, but as soon as the lab is moved, probably they might move it, I don't know, but or probably they might put a gate here, I don't know. But whatever they do, this area will be left vacant until such time before the fencing connects with this as one that has been done. Now here we are at the cargo apron area, and I am standing on top of that bank side just below. You know that area where that house was? That bank side that they have graded down to look like what we have in front of us here. Well, I'm standing on that bank side at the flat area, looking back towards the apron, and you would see by now that all except one section of the apron area in this part of the work has been completed with the concrete works, and now the guys are preparing for the final section. What has to happen, what is happening, that area where we have the gutter, they have to build it up where the steel, or you have the steel in the side towards the apron. They have to build it up with some concrete, with some mortar, like level it off, and on top of that they're going to put a 2x4 piece of wood right down to the edge, and it's on top of that 2x4 and on top the part of the concrete that has been done already on the left side here, that they're going to put that piece of equipment that is used to level off the concrete when it is poured. You know, that long piece that stretches from one end to the next and operated with a motor, and it pulls itself right down as they pour the concrete that is used to level the concrete off. Well, they are preparing that section to do that aspect of the work. And as soon as that is completed, we'll have this section of the concrete works being done. But there is still more concrete works to be done, because right in front here, at the end, the concrete works will have to come over to the edge. I don't know how far over it's going to come. And also up at the area where they're doing the terminal building for the cargo, more concrete works will have to be done there, probably going right up to the building. But that cannot be done until the work on the building is completed. And the work on the building is going to head quite quickly. We see now at the back here, and I want to believe the front as well is done. But this section of the roof, you see everything is completed now. There isn't any sight of galvanized underground, so it tells me from where I'm at, and I believe that all of the roofing is on now, and we are seeing them doing the whitewash of this side, and more or less they're doing the finishing touches. The fancy blocks are in, those brown blocks that we used to see on the ground. Some of them are still on the ground. They are into their places right now. That is to help to give the place the room ventilation, so that you won't have to use much air conditioning. And the work is still going on here at the site. And in regards to the building, we have the electrical substation. Work has been done on it last week, but when I get a bit closer to it, I will get a look-see, because last week they had some more concrete works to be done on the floor. But now that I'm looking at it from here, I've seen some sidings are up, and I believe that this is the end to which it is going. There isn't any more floor going above. And what is actually happening, I don't know if any work is going on inside, but this is what we are seeing here in terms of the electrical substation here at that building next to the cargo terminal building. And on the apron area down there where they would have done those concrete works, we have a worker there cutting the joints, and in those joints we're going to have placed some styrofoam, and it's going to be sealed with a seal, and this will help to cushion the concrete as it shifts from time to time.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say things for what we gonna.
We are here at the Landside view, or the front, whichever one you want to call it, of the cargo terminal building, and we can see that this small section here of the roof has not been done as yet. That is left to be done. So most of it has been done except for this small section, but they're doing the cleaning up and finishing up work. Stoneworks on the front here has been done, and as a lot of the lumber has been moved. By the next few weeks or so, next 2 weeks or so, I guess the work on this building will be completed. But I am only saying that because based on what I'm seeing, I'm not too sure if that will be the case. But the way the work is going, I can say by next 2 Saturdays I come back out here, I probably wouldn't see any work being done on this place, but everything will just be there ready and waiting for the final painting of the building. But this is what we have taken place. Last week we saw them putting up a section of the roof, and they had a good bit to go. But this week we see most of the roof, the galvanized sheeting are on, only this small section that is left to be done. Now where I'm at on top of the hill here, I can see concrete works taking place just in front of the terminal building down there, and where the continuation of the apron is going towards the drain side on the terminal building side. Well, works are going on there, so when I get on the flat down there, I will give you a close-up look as to what is taking place. But I'm just showing you exactly what I'm seeing from where I'm at on the hillside here, just below the area where we have the fuel farm. And the fuel farm is located right on top of the hillside there, as I pan with you and give you a view of the top side. That is to tell you where I'm at right here, that bank side below the area where the fuel farm is, looking back on the site where we have the cargo apron area and the terminal building for the cargo apron and other section of the airport site.
Light a candle, don't close the door.
Last week when I was here, I showed you that pole was close to the road out there, which looked like as if that is what is going to be the perimeter fencing pole. But now this week it has come a little closer in, and right in front of us here on the ground where you have this stake, this is a new stake that was put. So it seems as though to me that the fencing is coming closer in from the road, but we'll just have to look and see exactly what is taking place, because right behind me here, where I was showing you where I believe the fencing was going to link up to, where we have that boundary pole right there, and this was in line with the one that was way out close to the road on the far end. But this week now I've come back here, it looks as though there has been some changes in terms of these stakes. So you're seeing this one right in front of us here, and if we go straight across over to the other end, we are seeing where they have removed the pole from close to the road and planted it right there, as you can see.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for what we grenadines, it's a blessing.
Last week we saw they were doing some excavation work here, taking down this bank side. Now that work seems to have finished. There isn't any work taking place, no earthworks taking place here today, and it looks as though they have gotten to where they are going, because I am now seeing stakes being placed, so which tells me that the surveyors came in and did their work, and they have placed their stakes in the areas where they are needed. Now I am not quite sure if a road is going to pass in this area to link up back to get back to the main road. Most likely it is going to be like that, because all here we're going to have here works done here and level off as soon as they finish dealing with these works here they're doing with the running of the conduit for the telephone cable lines that will be coming from the main road towards the site. But until they get to that stage, we will be able to understand better what is taking place here at this area of the site. So you see the stone, the back wall that you were looking at here last week where they were working on. The boxing has been removed. The area has been filled up with dirt. We have seen some stones being laid here on the flat, and things are taking shape right here at the site, as you can see. The work continues here. We have the compactor over there compacting this area, where no doubt we probably will have a road. We have those black drainage system there on the ground that will be planted in the trench will be placed in the trench that they put in there, and these black drainage are going to take the runoff water from the road into the drain out of the north. So the work continues here at the land side of the airport site. The wall has been done out of a distance, and I'm not too sure how far out it is going to go, but there you can see some of it right there to the point to where it has reached. And here we have work in different areas going on, but I will try to make my way closer over to the other side. It is not that easy because the security here sometimes prevent you from passing in any of this area where the terminal building is, because it is a secured area. Sometimes I ask the permission if I can go and take some shots, and it sometimes depends on who it is working. But this is what we're seeing here from this distance. I'm out here close to the bank side on where we have the house and the hill, just looking back at the work. But later on, if I get the chance or the permission to go around that side, I will give you a close-up look as to what is taking place.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for what we grenadines, it's a blessing. A visionary with an illustrious plan.
See all in front of us here over the past week. They have laid stakes and done the cutting out of areas. I guess all of these stakes are giving them the shaping of the road that is going to pass in this area. But I cannot quite understand things as yet. But as time progresses, we're going to get a better understanding of this work. We are here in front of the drainage area, just in front of the terminal building, that section. Now they are doing the concrete works to link the section of the drain to the rest of the apron area, just as we had it done on the eastern side over there of the apron area. And the work here, the concrete work, has started here to link to the drain, and over the drain they're gonna, believe, have some of those black metal covering placed in on these drains as well. But the workmen are here today, Saturday, the 7th day of November, actually doing the concrete paving works here on this section of the airport side. And as I look over there on the ground, I can see where they would have done some preparation works by grading down this area here where the dirt area is and compacting it. So the finishing work here in front of the airport side, the works are going on, and as you can see, things are happening here right now as we continue here with the work at the airport side. And as I speak with you, another truck loaded with concrete has just arrived to the area where they are doing this concrete works here on the site. So here we have the concrete works going on here at just in front of the terminal building. As you can see, earthworks is taking place there. That fella you see standing there, the Cuban worker, he is in charge of the earthworks. front of us here we have the steels in the joint, and what I've just learned is that between these two joints, one truckload of concrete is what they use to do this section. So from one joint to the other joint takes you one truck load of concrete, and they're going to stop up to this point where they have this siding placed there. This is where the work is going to stop for the time being, because as we have noticed further up, the guys are now preparing that area so that they can do the concrete works here. And if you notice on the side, you see a piece of 2x4. Now these guys up there who are up there doing the work, they are preparing this area here for this concrete works, and they're going to plaster the concrete siding of the drain, and then on top of that they're going to put the 2x4 as you see in it here, so that the machine that is being used to level off the concrete that machine that stretches from one end to the next, that machine can rest on the 2x4, and then as it pulls forward it level off the concrete. And here on the ground we have the grills that will be placed over the drain to cover the drains right in front of the terminal building. So all these black coverings you see in here, these are the coverings that will be covering this section of the drain. While on the other side, over on the eastern side where we have the other drain, on the other side of the apron, we also have some of these same coverings that will be used to cover that side of the drain. So the work in front here continues here at the airport site as the men are here busy preparing this area for the works that is going to take place. Now this is to give you an example as to what is actually going to happen, how this is going to look. So you see now it has been rested there as a test, and I don't know how it's going to be anchored, if they're going to put the concrete on the side, but this looks as though it is something that can be removed and fit back in place if there is a need for them to get down into the drain. So we have the workers are doing preparation work up there, and sooner or later when we come back here we are going to see some of these coverings in place. Those works that they're doing all the way up at the other end will be coming all the way down here to this end. Right now they have placed some concrete slabs over this section of the drain to enable the truck to pass. As you can see, this one passing here over this spot, so that they can get from one end to the next. Earlier up they used to be going up on the apron and come across just beyond this first jet bridge here and come around at the hut up there and get to that section over there, but they have stopped that and put the roadway right here so that they can get to the site on the land side where they're doing works. They were moving earth from there and other earthworks. As they walk at the front down there, they needed some sort of roadway to get to that side. So this is the roadway they have made. Now the work at the back of me that is coming down in terms of this drainage work will be coming all the way out here towards the end over there, and this water will be ending up in the drain. And if you look at the side here where you have those steels, it will tell you also that the concrete works that is being done, that will be done here, will continue right out to where those steels are. So more work on this apron area to extend towards the drain will have to be done, and more works, as you have seen coming down in front of the terminal building in terms of the concrete work, will continue right down to this end, right off towards the edge where we're going to have the drainage. I am not seeing much activity from where I'm at here on the drainage system, the 191, but as I get closer, I will get a better look as to what is going on. I am here at the end point to where the works on the drainage will be taking the water down to the 191 has reached. Now I am not sure how they're going to do this. Probably they're going to angle it at a degree, because the river, the gutter area is coming down from in that bushy area that we're looking at. And I'm going to take you closer so that you can see where the water is running. So most likely they will be cutting through here because the area has already been cleared, but they cannot do that cutting just yet because the water will be flowing through the work area where they're doing the work. But here we're seeing where the gutter, this draining constant flow of water is running. So I believe all of these trees are going up there will have to be cleared. All this area will have to be cleared, and the works with the drain continue right up. I don't know as yet how it's going to be done, but I just want to show you how the water is running and where the drain has gotten to over in the distance. So it is not going to be in a straight line, because you see where they have cleared there, so it's going to make an angle and come across over in this area. And linking up to this will be the drain that is running just in front of the terminal building, that drain we now talked about a while ago, that will be linking up here. And also in this area another drain will be coming down, and this drain will be bringing all the water, the water that will be coming off the road, the water from off the Landside just in front of the terminal building. All of that water at the front side, that is the side facing the land, all of that water will be coming through this area and link up to this big drain that they're doing and take the water all the way down to the seaside. We have work going on there at the drainage system, but very hard workers who call themselves the A-team. As we can see, the blocks work is going up, and this blocks work will be coming up to the level of this catchment that we have here. If you have noticed, they would have run some blocks first, then they put a crown in of concrete, and on top of that crown they have started another row of blocks, which will come right up to the level of that catchment that they have done here. And currently the men are going up with that section of the blocks, and this work will be going all the way up to the end where I came from a while ago. Here at the 220 channel, no sign of work taking place here currently. I do not know if any will be taking place later, but this is what we had done over the past week in terms of the concrete filling up work. We still have a little bit more to do. Today the trucks are doing concrete works just outside of the terminal building, and concrete works with the fencing down at the southwestern side of the site. So here we're looking at the western side where they had done some concrete works last week gone, and some filling up of dirt here at the site. Last week I showed you this area here and show you where they have dug this trench, and it appears to me as if they are going to put a gutter somewhere across here. Now I didn't pay careful attention until just a while ago. Now I come back here to see what the development is, because I was trying to figure out where this water is going to come from, why they start digging this trench. Because the fact that they start digging this trench at the back of me tells me that there's going to be some drainage system going inside it. And we know that the road coming on the eastern side of the airport is going to pass right in that area there where you see that road. This used to be the exit of the old Argyle road all the way up before we had this new access road being built. Mr. Beach! And Mr. Beach now passed there in his vehicle going towards there. So if you hear Mr. Beach just now, that is Vincent Ian Beach. Now, just in front of us in that grass area, we have the water that is coming off from the road and running into the drain on the side, the box drain, is coming down right in this area here where we're getting into the grass. And if you can look further up where you see that concrete work is, there is where the water is coming down. So that trench we have behind us, that is on the back there, this is the reason why we have the trench being dug. So from the position of the stakes and to where the drain is coming down, it tells me that there's going to be a drain here to take the water from off the road and back into that trench over there where they have it dug, and it's going through the ravine that we have in the back there down to the sea. So now I understand. You see, sometimes just by looking and making observation, you can pick up certain things by just looking at what is taking place. Somebody doesn't have to tell you everything, right? So here we have these 3 stakes, and these 3 stakes, no doubt, are giving a surveyor's marker as to where they're going to pass this drainage system here. So before the road, any work starts on the road, this system has to go in where you're going to take the water from the road and channel it through an underground culvert here and down to the sea. And we are here at the northern end of the airport site. Over there in the distance we have the entrance to Kuruvan Vale. On my left is where we have the Argyle Primary School, and as I turn with you, all here we have the north, the access road to Warraku from the north will be passing in this area. Earthwork still continues here on the site in the northwestern side, but I have only noticed one caterpillar, one piece of equipment down there taking down the siding of the bank, and it appears as though the worker is now on break, so he's taking a rest. But no other earthworks is taking place on this side, on the western side. What I have noticed on the eastern side, you have trucks, small trucks bringing dirt from lower down and dumping it on the side of the sea where they have the backfill in there. Over there where you have that caterpillar, we have trucks dumping dirt on that side there, over on that end. And this dirt, I believe, is coming from somewhere over where we have the cargo terminal building side, because that's the only area I see that type of dirt is located. Standing in the center point of the width of the turning head, looking towards the south of the airport runway strip, and I can see right down as if I can see a plane coming in down there. I am just imagining what it will be like sitting in an aircraft and seeing it land here at the Argyle International Airport. The work is going on, and here I am at the northern end, as I told you before, of the turning head. I have just completed my trip up to the top, and I am heading on my way back down towards the south because I will be leaving here early today because I have to get myself back home, get my batteries recharged, and get myself ready to hit the road again down to Kingston at the Richmond Hill playing field, where we are going to have a rally, the Unity Labour Party. And hopefully Prime Minister going to announce the date, and she's going to say that election date will be on either the 7th or the 9th of December. And if it's the 9th, nomination day will be around the 18th, 19th or 20th of November. So watch out, people. The action is going to pump up here as we get into it. We are already in election gear and people are ready to vote. But I am not dealing with the election now. I am dealing with the airport and the progress of the work. But I am just letting you know I am back on my way down to cover some of the areas I have not covered on my way up. And then I will be out of here early than usual because I have another function to attend. So this is what this trip look like, looking at it from the northern end, looking back towards the south end. Here at the edge to where the river was, to that bank where you have all those grasses, and as if you're looking down into the river, I am looking straight across the center point of the runway, where you see all those stakes in the stake going right across. This is the center of the runway going right back. No filling up is being done here today. Unlike last week, we had dirt being dumped here, and I don't know if what is causing this, but there isn't any filling up work done here. And we have seen equipment. There are other players working this morning. So I don't know if after lunch we're gonna have some work being done in this area, because sometimes they do work in the morning one section and then the afternoon they switch the work to another area in some instances. But I don't know what is taking place in regards to this, but I just showing you a little bit of it. We have had a significant amount of filling up here. We have not much more to go because we have to bring this area right up to the level of that bank side we're looking at there right now, where you see that stake there that has to come up to that level so that it could link with the other section of the runway. So we have the dirt, we have the soil here on site, and we're gonna see the work go on here as time progresses here as the work continues here at the Argyle airport site. Here we are at the entrance of the access road to the terminal building, and what we are looking at here now is the laying of the base stone in preparation for the asphalt work that will be done later on. So here at the entrance you can see there is a truck in position to dump its load of sand. The grader is leveling off the stone, and very soon we'll be seeing in this area the asphalting of this section of the road leading to the terminal building of the side of the airport at Argyle. Now for those of you who don't really know what this area look like, right on the left side there was a house and a bank side. There was actually a road here that was taking you into the village where we had some houses down there. This was a one-lane road, but over the past year this area was, this bank side here where that house was leveled down to the stage that it is now, and all these infrastructure were put in place here in preparation for this work that you're now seeing here today.
It's a blessing.
I am here on the bank side looking back at the landside view of the airport terminal building, showing you the area where they're going to have the roadway. And as you can see, things start to take shape. You can see down there where you have that roundabout area, we have stones like that have already been laid, and we have the black drainage system, some of them already been put into position. Now in between these drains, and let me bring it a little closer so that you can see, you will see some space there. What I believe will be happening there is going to be a manhole there, so the water is going to run down in those space area where you have the steels between the two spaces. They're going to put some manhole, and the water from off the road, when it rains, the water from off the road will then run into those manholes and then go down to these black culvert, black drainage system, PVC drainage system, and over towards the north. Now those that are lying on the ground there, I want to believe that they are going to be placed at the side of the wall, that piece of back wall that they just put in there recently, and I want to believe that these black drainage system, these PVC drains that are lying on the ground, they are going to fit in that area where the wall is. But I am not too sure about it, but based on what I'm looking at, I tend to believe that that is what is going to happen. But in the meantime, you are seeing what is taking place here, and work is going on at the far end, and what it looks like to me, if that is the area where they're going to put the car, that area where they're going to put the building to put the solar panels on, it appears to me as if work has started on that, if that is the area where it is going to be, but I am not quite sure. But the work here, in comparison to last week when we were here, a considerable amount of work has been done, because if you can recall, that wall there on the side down there was a bit high from the ground, and now you can see how much it has been filled up here in the area. All this area here, we are seeing shapes of steels being planted as if it is marking out the area where the road is going to be. But as the time progresses, as the work continues here, we're going to have a better idea what is going to take place in these areas.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for what we grenadines, it's a blessing. A visionary with an illustrious plan. The gods put a blessing on this man. Building with no money.
I am back here where they would have done the fencing work, the concrete works on the fencing this morning, and now you can see all the concrete has been poured into position up to this point. So later on you will find them removing the boxing and continue upward towards the area where they have those 10 holes already dug, ready for the boxing, and then the placing of the poles. I am on my way out actually, so I'm going back down, covering the area where I have covered on my way up, just to see the progress of the work that has been done. So I'm just showing you what has taken place here since I left and went up the road. I've gotten right up to the north, and now I am heading back down to the south, then out via the west in the area of the Makoni, Yami Hill, back onto the main road and then home. So this is it you have here. Next week when we visit this area, you will see the development, because for sure we will have the mesh wire in and all this area will be blocked off. Nobody will be able to pass through underneath here as I have just done. You will have all this area blocked off. The fencing will be up. So the fencing are going up bit by bit, and what I have learned is that next week they will be heading back down to the south side where they have done preparation work down there, and they're going to put up the fencing. So as fast as they do the preparation work for the fencing, the guys come in and they do their part, put up the fencing, and then after that is completed, they move to another area to do the work. So this concrete here is not a concrete that takes a long time to cure or to dry. They have done it this morning, and little later on they will be able to remove the siding, and by next week, tomorrow or thereabout, they can start put up the fencing here on this side of the airport side. And this is located on the western side in the area where we call the Breadfruit Gutter, just in that area span where we have the culvert under the first kilometer of the runway, where all that water that comes on off the main road and flows through that culvert under the runway. We have the fencing in that area stretching southward, heading towards the Makonyami Hill side up to a certain point. But the area beyond where the fencing, the poles ended there, that area needs to be prepared before the fencing work can start here. So as soon as this area is prepared, the guys will come back here and start to do the fencing work here for the perimeter fencing. Paver is in place, the asphalt paver is in place. The line has been drawn to indicate the height, the guide here. The asphalt has been sprayed on this section of the shoulder area. The side of this section that has been already done has been sprayed so that the new sheeting of asphalt, the new layer, can be adhered to it. But nothing is happening right now. I am not sure if they're going to come down here later to do the work, or this asphalt paving work will be done tomorrow. But this is to show that they were here this morning doing the preparation work, because when I passed up this morning, no line was drawn. The asphalt paver was not on the side where it was. All those compactors were further up towards the north up here. Now they're down at the south. So if they're going to do any asphalt work this afternoon, then we're going to have to start from all the way down there, come down. But I wouldn't know about it because I am on my way out as I travel back down towards the south to get out of here. So I'm just showing you exactly what probably have transpired here since I visited, passed through here this morning, only to give you an idea that work has been taken. We can actually start the work this afternoon. I don't know if that will happen, but they were down here this morning doing some work after I would have passed this area, because what I'm seeing, I did not see it here this morning when I passed.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for one big grenadines, it's a blessing. A visionary with an illustrious plan. The gods put a blessing on this man, building with no money in hand. Fidels and engineers to this land, like no building is hard when the people laugh. Vincent Chanson on abroad, supporting with on accord. The new ideology, how to advance this country. They want to fly like eagles in the sky. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing.
Once more, I have come to the end of yet another trip here at the Argyle International Airport. Today being Saturday the 7th of November 2015, and it's a bit earlier than usual when I leave, just about 1:45 in the afternoon. Normally I leave at 6:30 or thereabout when it is dark, but because I have to attend another activity this afternoon, I had to be in early and leave early. So it was a pleasure being here with you today, another Saturday. And as I speak with you, leaving here today, I can see work going on out there at the southern end of outside the fencing that's overlooking the Stubbsby end. But unfortunately, I can't go any closer to see what is really taking place. You have two pieces of equipment working out there, and I guess they are bringing the bankside just the same way as they had that piece just before the fencing coming up there from the backside. However, I am leaving you now. Until we catch up next week, I want to wish you all the best for this week, and whatever you do it with all your might. And remember, if you meet someone without a smile today, give them one of yours. Thank you very much for viewing, and I appreciate your comment and your input as to how well you appreciate these videos, and if there is anything I can do differently or better, I will appreciate your private comments. Thank you very much for all that you've been doing, your encouragements and everything, and looking forward to be here with you another week as I come to bring you the update of the work taking place here at the Argyle International Airport site. Do have yourself a blessed week, and may God continue to watch over you.